Happy Birth Month.
Make sure we get Rick Roberts lined up for that heavy vitamin C infusion.
It's the time of the year, the COVID scare. Dr. Scott, it's awesome.
Even without the COVID, we should all be doing it.
Absolutely.
Dosing ourselves up with some vitamin C, getting hydrated. That's where it's at.
No IV.
So, hello, everybody.
What's happening?
It's good to see you today.
Dr. Scott, good to see you as well.
We got some great guests today. I'm excited to introduce our guest. I can't remember how long it's been since I met you guys. I feel like I've known you forever. Whatever time frame it's been, we've been through a lot. The cycle has turned. But nonetheless, we'll get the whole story, and you can remind us all. I want to welcome Tim and Brenda Clark. Hello. Say hello to everybody.
Hello, Dr.
everybody.
Scott.
So it's a pleasure meeting you. We'll go through it all, but let's just tell the story. You are a phenomenal case, one of many that we have at Advanced Medical Solutions, but we connected right away. I evaluated you, checked some things out, and I clearly remember. Obviously, I don't know because I didn't experience what you felt, but you were, Brenda, you were in bad shape. You were in bad shape, and it wasn't too long ago, even though I feel like I've known you forever. But you were. There are many people I see that are in bad shape. Okay, the worst of the worst.
Yes,
you knew that.
of course.
The worst of the worst. And you were in bad shape, but it's a little different because you couldn't even sit comfortably. Some people can sit and rest, and at least it leaves a little bit of pain they're experiencing. You couldn't even sit, Brenda.
It started a long time ago, but we came to you in April to one of your dinners of this year. But I was diagnosed with degenerative disc disease in 2010. And I went to every doctor they wanted me to. I did every medical thing they wanted me to, all the way from shots to everything. Pain management.
Cortisone shots, epidurals.
Not cortisone because I'm diabetic.
Okay.
But, excuse me, that would have been steroids. I did the shots in the back. I did everything they wanted.
What kind of pain? Remind us, what kind of pain were you suffering with?
It started out in my lumbar, and it went all the way up to the back of my neck. And it hurt to sit then. And I went through that for 10 years. And then in 2019, I took a fall after we moved here. And then my tailbone was hurting so bad. Then I really couldn't sit down. I couldn't lay. Then went and got it x-rayed, and all they told me it was degenerative disc disease. And by that time, I had gotten so tired of hearing the doctors saying, well, you're not quite bad enough for surgery. Let's go pain medication. Well, when I lived in Texas 2016, they put me on some pain medication, which was an opioid. And they had me taking one twice a day. And I think I honestly came close to overdosing. If it hadn't have been for my family being around, I probably would have. Just after a few days of taking one twice a daily, I was running into walls. I was falling down. I was just a total mess. Luckily enough, my family was around to see what was happening, and I was putting them in a weekly container with all my other medications that I was taking for, Lord goes, diabetic, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, and everything else. And my family got hold of that and started taking all the painkillers out of it. So at least they kept me going. But with all the pain that I learned to live with for my back through the 10 years, I was to the point to where I didn't care whether I lived or not. And to be honest with you, when I got your little card in the mail about the free dinner, you know, we'd seen this Rios Brazilian steakhouse, and my husband was saying, well, I'd been wanting to try that place anyway, so I figured couldn't hurt. So we got out of the house long enough to come to your seminar, and I knew a little bit about stem cells from hearing about it in Europe and other places, and I was thinking, if it worked over there, why in the world didn't the United States have it? And you put up a good case for it. And by the time I'd fallen and hit my tailbone, I could not sit down. If I didn't have a pillow, a cushion, I had already bought the coccyx pillows. I'd tried 3 or 4 different type, and they rubbed other places raw from sitting on the seams, and I was to the point to where I was just like, all right, what am I going to do? Lay down on my side for the rest of my life and watch TV in bed in order to go to a trip to Walmart? I was already in a power chair from everything else on my back. I was at wit's end. I was done with Western medication. Doctors, I go for my lab work for my diabetes, which is coming up here next month. But I'd given up on them. They weren't doing anything for pain. So I just quit going to them. I didn't want any more painkillers, that was for sure. And I'd had, in 2012, I went in, had lumbar surgery. I had the the neck surgery. And again, it was useless. So I made a deal with you that if you could get my tailbone relieved, I'd let you go all the way.
And Tim, you're I know you came in with her initially, and I realized right away that you're helping her out, and you got so much compassion for her, and you were all about anything that could help her get better. You watched her suffer for so long.
Oh yeah,
right?
And then we were very skeptical at first, and I don't know what really brought us around, other than we tried everything else, and we did a lot of research on our own, and said, this looks like a good thing. Let's give it a shot. And I think when I got mine, I had problems with the base of my neck. 4 years, I had 4 car accidents. I had degeneration in the back of my neck, and I couldn't turn my head. Whenever I went to drive, I'd have to turn my whole body to look around. So now I can turn my head just fine.
Awesome.
I got injections in the back of my neck, and I could tell a difference from the time I left the doctor's office and went out and sat in my car. I could tell an immediate difference. She got a little bit slower on her tailbone recovery. But
let's put that into perspective. Slower though, okay? So I remember clearly there was the lower back and the tailbone, but then when we started talking about all these other issues you have going on in the neck and this and that, we really worked your whole body up.
Yes.
We worked the whole body up, and we laid out a plan and a schedule and a care plan that really encompassed really working on your whole body. And I remember you saying just exactly what you just said. Hey, let's not go with the whole body. We were still a little skeptical after all, the strong case that you made for it and the research you showed and the results that you guys have. Still a little skeptical because it's not cheap, okay? It's not cheap. We all know that, and the insurance is not covering it. But you said, hey, and you and Tim came to an agreement. let's not worry about the whole body. Let's start with the back and the tailbone. And if I see some results,
Tailbone.
if I see some results, we'll move forward. And I remember you saying there's one main thing you just wanted to be able to do.
Sit down.
No, that's not what it was.
No, I wanted to go out with the girls.
Yeah, I want to go out with my girls. I want to go shopping. I want to be able to go out with my girls. So we worked on the lower back and the tailbone, and so tell us what happened.
I went out with the girls. I'm going out. I'm been shopping. I can walk through Walmart, which I've never been able to do. And now I'm going shopping through Walmart, through other stores. I'm doing water aerobics, and I'm not even using the power chair. My power chair is sitting in the garage doing nothing.
And you obviously don't have a pillow you have to sit on.
No.
You're doing great. Now, Tim said his results are pretty fast. He felt it as soon as he got in the car. He said yours were pretty slow. Tell us what slow means.
Slow with the tailbone, took me about 3 days, and I came back into you and said, okay, let's do the rest.
Wow.
So slow is 3 days.
3 days. Hey.
Yeah.
3 days.
3
After
days.
over a decade.
That's not slow in this
After-
world.
Decade of time.
Yeah.
Okay. But you know what? I'm going to point something out real quick, Dr. Scott. As Brenda came in here and sat down and started explaining her story, you could see the anguish in her face from what she has experienced over the past 10 years. But when you ask her what her goal was, and she got the opportunity to start talking about going out with her friends, the smile is still on her face
Yeah.
right now.
It is.
The people out there listening can't understand the joy that's on her face, and not only her face, but Tim's face as well, because he cares about his wife, and it's a beautiful thing to see.
Beautiful thing.
Yeah, that, and I'm starting to do a lot of the dishes and a little cleaning around the
Yes.
house and helping out a lot
but
more.
it's enjoyable, isn't it?
Yeah, it
Isn't
is.
it? That's wonderful. It's a wonderful story to hear. On the way over here, Dr. Scott told me, he briefed me on you and when I say briefly, I mean very briefly, and all of a sudden I asked a question. He said, let's save it for the show, because this is really a great set of patients that comes to Advanced Medical Solution. Their story is just an amazing and miraculous story to hear, and you are one of those patients who come in here that we can see it on their face. So we're just letting the people out there know that it is, it's amazing to see.
It's something I never thought I would ever be able to do again. After 10 years of nothing but pain, I didn't ever think I would ever be able to get out and enjoy life again.
Wow.
And I am so grateful to Dr. Scott that I could never repay him for what he has given me.
Well, thank you. And let's. I always bring this up when you say that and you thank me. I'm just doing my job. I clearly remember us talking about it, and I remember you. And I understand because you've been in so much pain for so long, but I remember you being the ultimate skeptic. Okay.
Yeah, I was.
And
Everybody is.
Yeah.
They all start there.
And Tim, I remember Tim, your husband, just politely, kindly pushing you over the edge and saying, yeah, and I could just tell, and you could tell how much Tim cares about
Yes.
Brenda.
Yeah, oh.
But Tim, he just politely said, I could just tell how much you love her and how much you care about her and how much,
How important.
even
She
an opportunity,
is.
a chance
Yes.
for her to feel better. I remember that. So I really believe it's Tim that we should thank for pushing you over the edge and doing that. We're just doing our job. And I'm so excited for you.
You remember when she came to the restaurant and she was sitting in that chair and she couldn't sit still and squirming from one leg to the other and
asked you
wanting to
for
get
a
up and get out of there.
a cushion.
That's right.
And asking for pillows to put on the chair.
Yeah.
And now look when she came in here and sat down.
I mean, I remember her coming in the office. I
Night and
can't
day.
remember what it was. She came in and she was just prancing around. I went out with my girls. I went shopping, and it's just it's a story that your story. I mean, we talk about it in the office all the time because you've had such good results. Okay, and we see that all the time but you're really embodying them, and you're really following the protocols to not only get better with just what the basic regenerative medicine does, but to do the things that it takes to cause it to work even better and stronger and faster. And I think that's awesome. And even more so, you guys doing this treatment together, because I know, Tim, you had some issues. And so just since, April, May, June, July, within 4 months has been life-changing. What are some of the things that you're doing now, like just small things that you're noticing a change in that before were difficult, hard, or you didn't even do?
Standing up, walking, showering, going out shopping, just everything. We're going out to eat more often. We are just, before it was him going to the grocery store all the time by himself. Now I'm going with them.
That's awesome.
And going shopping with my girls. And now even just getting out, well, I'd like to say going dancing, but I've got 2 left feet. But we get up and cut up, and we're going over to the families more and just having a great time.
And you're doing it without being in pain.
No pain.
That's
No
awesome.
pain whatsoever.
Wow. We come in here and we talk about the wow me stories. You and I say we do this every day, and we still have situations such as yours that impress us, and we do it. We do it every day. And let me point something out real quick. Dr. Scott and I commonly talk about the 2 types of patients at Advanced Medical Solution. The desperate, which is where you have been, and then the smart is what you had to become to be able to handle, what you were living with in your life. And now you've got your life back. This is what we talk about. You're in paradise. You're the best place in the world to be, and you're enjoying it. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So tell me this. We also talk a lot about this. Okay, obviously your body was in a lot of pain. You had a lot going on. We fixed the initial primary issue, and then within 3 days you said, wow, I can tell the results. Let's do the rest of the body. Let's do the rest of these issues. What difference have you seen mentally? Because we know that pain consumes the brain and consumes the mind, and it consumes almost every aspect of life. Have you noticed any change, mentally and attitude and emotions? What's some things that you've noticed there, or Tim, that you've noticed, in her? What are some ideas there as far as just the mental freedom? Have you noticed anything there?
I myself have. Before I was depressed. I was sad. I didn't want to do anything. I didn't want to even get up out of bed. I mean, I was waiting for the end because I was so out of it. And now I'm just happy-go-lucky. I'm always cutting up with him when he's not in his computer frame of working. And I'm more outgoing, and I want to do things more. So I'm alive again.
The depression has let up a lot. I'd say it's night and day. Now she wants to get up and go do things, wants to go out places, wants to go eat at a new restaurant. And she doesn't care if they have padded seats anymore. She just wants to go there and wants to do things and wants to get out. Whereas before it was from the bed to the living room, from the bed to the living room. And that was her life. Mm-hmm. And she was in a downward spiral. And this really brought her out of it.
I hear that so often, that the pain is there, and someone's day and someone's life goes from the bed to the couch or the chair to the bathroom, and just making that path. So here's what I want to know. What was I about to ask you? So I clearly remember you were like me when I first found out about this treatment. Skeptical, very skeptical. What was the thing? Was there one thing other than Tim and his love for you to help do anything to get you better? What was the one thing that you feel like helps you say, you know what, this is it, that I'm going to do this. I know I'm concerned. I have some issues. I still have some issues, but I'm going to move forward. What's the one or a few things for people who are listening, who are suffering just like you, that you might be able to share with them that, hey, this is what my mind was thinking. This is my thought process was for both you and Tim, a husband and a wife. They say, hey, let's give this a shot.
The main thing was that there was a possibility of no pain. The second thing was the fact that you were willing to work with me.
Yeah. For me, Dr. Scott, it was you.
Yes.
You were the big driving, stand up behind what you said, show and prove what you said, and follow through with what you said. And that was the big thing for me.
Okay. And so ultimately it's just experiencing those results that we talked about. Am I
Yes.
right? Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I appreciate you guys for trusting me. I'm ecstatic about the results that you have going on. And it's just the beginning. It's been, 4 months, 5 months?
Yes.
You're doing great. You're doing awesome.
I'm loving every minute of it.
She hasn't quit smiling
No.
for the past 20 minutes.
No.
I mean, it
You
is,
look great.
It is. Congratulations. I can't say that enough.
I haven't quit smiling since I've been out of pain.
I can tell. I can tell.
I have come back to Dr. Scott over and over again and have given him so many hugs just to be able, because he has given me my life back. And if insurance would get off their lazy rear ends and cover this, the whole world could smile.
That's right.
And FDA doesn't know what they're doing if they would not approve this. I mean, everybody could live their life to the fullest if those two people would get together and get this proved.
I see so many people in pain.
Yes.
I see older people still using power chairs and stuff in Walmart, and I feel so sorry for them that they need to get this and they need to see this and they need to do this and they need to find a way. And the government or the people in control need to figure out how to make this happen for America, for American people.
Right.
Yes,
That's
they
right.
do.
Because
I agree.
American people deserve it.
That's right.
There's no sense for people to be in this kind of pain that I was in when there's something like this out there that could help them.
That helps them so fast.
Yes.
And it's so effective.
Exactly.
Exactly.
And I was going to say, as we rhymed there, that Dr. Scott made that commitment not only to himself and to his patients, but our area here, our geographical area. And we have patients coming in from all over. I mean, they hear about the success that's taking place with the patients, such as yourself, at Advanced Medical Solution, and they're willing to travel to come see it. So as you have the chance to speak to people, if you were speaking to somebody in his office who was in your position before they made the decision to have this treatment, what would you tell them?
I'd tell them to do it.
Just walk by and say, it
Yes.
really works.
I've done that in his
He's
office
done it.
a couple of times. There was a gentleman there that was getting ready to talk to him, and I overheard him say, "Man, if this stem cell really works, I would do it in a heartbeat." So when I was getting ready to walk away, I leaned over to him and I said, how did I put it? In answer to your question, yes, it really works.
Just as we were leaving, walking out the door.
Yeah. And then the other day when we were in there, he had me sit down with a couple of people that were in there, and I talked to them. And I kind of told them my story.
That's great.
And I would do it again in a heartbeat because, yes,
It's a wonderful
works.
feeling to be able to help other people or just to share your experience, because they need that information. They need the confidence themselves, and it's people such as yourself who help them gain that confidence. as
People
well.
are naturally skeptical.
Yes.
Yes.
And they've there's so many rip-offs in the world. You don't know who to trust.
No,
when
and
you hear
you know
about
what?
something like this, then you find out.
Well, Dr. Scott's worked very hard, and I've been there in the shadows for a long time in this process, helping him. He goes to the labs all over the country. He goes and sees what everybody is doing. We stay abreast of where the FDA is at right now and what their next move is going to be. So we go down this path as this industry continues to improve and get better for the patients and for the providers. We continue to follow all the guidelines and do everything as directed, and that's what helps us be confident in reaching out to patients such as yourself.
And at the same time, we don't cut any corners on making sure our staff is top notch. And you've seen our staff, and this is not done just like regular medicine. It's regenerative medicine. It has to be done very precise, very, very accurate. And we have a phenomenal team. You've met the team.
Yes, you do.
They are very effective at what they do.
Mm-hmm.
So we got to wrap it up.
That was a quick 30 minutes.
We told you it is going quick. Fortune, it's good to see you.
Dr. Scott.
Why don't you wind it up for
Always.
us?
Brenda, Tim, thank y'all for coming. Dr. Scott, as always, we appreciate everything you do with the team at Advanced Medical Solution. Everybody have a good weekend, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
That was
great.
a fast show.
It was quick. I told you. How much fun was that?
That was great.
You could have talked for another hour. Couldn't you?
We're just
When you
getting
started
started.
getting passionate about really caring
Because
about
over
other
there, I got to be
people
in the morning.
and the insurance not covering it, I really appreciate
You sit them right
that,
there where
Brenda.
you're at, both
Okay.
right in front of you.
Did you hear me, Brenda?
Yeah.
When you were getting passionate about the other people who deserves this and
Yes.
insurance cover it, I admire and I appreciate that deep passion and hatred
I
for
told you.
injustice that you have there.
I'm here to help you.